Hi there guys, welcome back to the Red and Blue Site YouTube channel. It's time for another Palace preview. Of course, tomorrow's game is Palace at home to West Ham. Big game. We've come off the back of two really good, really key results in the Premier League. The draw away at Southampton and of course that big win at home to Fulham. Two games that we couldn't afford to lose and we didn't. I think most fans will be happy coming away with 4 points out of those two games. The result of that means that we're well clear of the bottom three at the moment, and I think because of the Batshuayi signing in the transfer window on deadline day, I think that I thought our squad was strong enough already if we got away with a few injuries. But with Batshuayi there to have even more attacking options and even more of a goal threat, I think we'll be just fine this season. It's a case of how we do in the FA Cup. I think we've got to prioritise the FA Cup, but also got to be wary of some of these games that are winnable in the Premier League. All games are winnable, really. We've proven that by beating Man City. But, the games that we should be looking to get results and the 6 pointers, we've got to be careful of those. And for me, West Ham's one of those. I think even though West Ham are having a good season and they've got a very talented squad, a manager now that's starting to get the players clicking, and a lot of the players in there that are on fantastic form at the moment, I think that their main problem's been inconsistency. And it's the same with Palace. They have a really good result and they struggle to get a string of results together or to follow up a really good result with another good result. There's been a couple of times I think West Ham fans have been saying where they've got good results, like Chelsea for example. An example would be Liverpool last week, and fingers crossed the same happens again. But they'll get a good result against a big team, then they'll play a smaller team, and they'll either lose or not get maximum points. So I'm hoping the same will happen here. It's been a bit of a theme for West Ham. West Ham fans, of course, if you're watching this, comment below if I'm wrong there. But I am feeling quite confident on this one because of Batshuayi coming in, because of the way we played against Fulham. I thought it was very impressive how we let them have the ball, and we just played like an away team, and they didn't have a sniff, even though they had almost 70% of the ball, I believe, which is fantastic. We've got a full strength team at the moment. There's nothing really to be unhappy about at Palace right now. It's a really happy time. We're obviously in the next round of the FA Cup. I'll come on to that at a later date, but this game in particular, if I'm going to predict how it's going to go, in recent years, we haven't had the best of times with West Ham. We've had some good points in there, but also some really poor defeats. The one early in the season at the London Stadium, of course, I was there. Go and check out that vlog if you haven't, from earlier in the season. We should have come away with 3 points, really, or we should have got something out of that game, but we were so poor in the second half, and we didn't deserve it in the end. Going in at half-time 1-0 up, and then capitulating really the way we did in the second half, and that was straight after that 3-0 loss to 3-1 defeat to Brighton as well. So yeah, that was a really poor period of time for us in the league, and we've got a history of that, having poor games against West Ham, and it being really negative. So I'm really hoping that we can get on the front foot, get the first goal again. I think if we get the first goal tomorrow, I think that'll be massive in terms of us going to get the result, because with the new squad that we've managed to get together now, obviously with Batshuayi and just the atmosphere around the place at the moment, I think that going ahead, it's highly unlikely we're going to bottle it from there, with the way I think that our mentality is. I could be wrong, of course, and West Ham have got some cracking players, but let me just quickly run over the team and then I'll go a bit more into how I think the game will pan out. So for me, it's very hard because Batshuayi coming in means we've got so many different options we can do. For me, I'd love to see us play at a 4-4-2, similar to how we did against Fulham. It does, of course, mean one of the two players that had patches of form this season but recently been fantastic, Schlupp and Ayew, I think one of them are going to drop out because Zaha's obviously got a further ban because of his conduct towards Mariner, the Orange Tart, against Southampton, but I think that he's delaying it so that he can play tomorrow, which will mean that if he's delaying his appeal, if he doesn't appeal, and he probably will play tomorrow because of the delay, but it means the ban will be in place for the game against Doncaster. I think it's worth missing him for the Doncaster game. We should have enough firepower to get past Doncaster, but I can understand why he's done it. I can understand why you'd want to delay it so that he can play in the West Ham game. So I think Zaha will play tomorrow. Guaita in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Sacco, Tompkins, Van Arnold. It's the standard back four. Hopefully Van Arnold picks up a bit of form. He's been poor of late. I think that's mainly because he has no one to really challenge him at left back. So maybe in the summer bring in a backup left back just to keep some pressure on Van Arnold. Make sure his performances don't dip. Which they have been doing recently. So hopefully he has an okay game. And then in the midfield, I do a flat four. Zaha, Townsend out wide. This is of course if Zaha does play. If not, then Schlupp definitely deserves to go in because he had a great game against Fulham. And then in the middle I'd have Luca and Kouyaté if Kouyaté's fit. If not, then a mix up between MacArthur and Meyer. I like Meyer to play. I think we all want to see Meyer play, but it's clear that Roy I don't think has him totally in his first team plans. So I'm more than happy with MacArthur slotting in there. He does the job and he's very reliable, as we all know. And then up front, it's got to be Benteke, Batshuayi. The Belgium connection up front, I'm really interested to see how those two would play together. Benteke already looks like a different player in the game against Fulham. He looks so much more confident. That's been the main problem with Benteke, is how lacking in confidence he's looked over the last year or so. He's been on an awful goal scoring record, so hopefully now back from injury, got one of his Belgium strike partners next to him. Hopefully that's a recipe for success. We'll find out. But that's my predicted lineup. In terms of how the game will go, I'm predicting a 2-1 Palace win. I don't think it'll be an easy game by any means. And I think West Ham, as I said, have got key players. Anderson, Arnautovic, Rice. You can reel them off. Nasri on his day. I know he's not exactly fully fit, but on his day he can cause problems. Hernandez, Perez coming off the bench. They've got a lot of backup on the bench now. I think, and they've just come off the draw against Liverpool. As I said earlier though, they tend to not string results together the way they probably should do, and that's probably a frustration for them, and it's been a frustration for us. We've been similar this season. We've had good results and then we can't seem to get the consistency. So hopefully we have a good game and we follow up the Fulham game and West Ham don't. Fingers crossed. But key players to watch has to be Anderson. I think he's been on fire. Snodgrass, if he does play, he scored a belter against us at the London Stadium. So, there's a lot of potential here for a thriller, and I think there will be goals on each side. But hopefully, we just get in ahead of them and we get the 3 points. I would probably take a draw, just keep the points ticking over. That's the main thing. Consistency for me. Getting some points coming in. But a win, I think at home, the way we're playing, got to look for the win. Anyway, guys, that's a quick preview. I know I haven't gone into too much detail there, but of course, comment below. I'll always look at your comments, reply and like to them. Any video ideas you have in the future, of course, let me know down below. Love to hear your thoughts on that. And yeah, if any of you are at the game tomorrow, hopefully I'll see a few of you there. I'll be in the Arthur Wait. If not, then hope you guys enjoy the game, and fingers crossed we get the 3 points. And then we got the big game against Doncaster up next. So come on, you Palace, let's do this.